Welcome back to UnKind TV, everyone. We're George and Martha.
Welcome back.
And today we'll be recapping the Real Housewives of Atlanta, Season 12, Episode 7. What would Michelle O do? All I know is that whole when they go low, we go high thing. I don't agree with it.
I'm not taking the high road.
No
Please.
way. It doesn't get you anywhere in life. When they go low, I hit below the belt and exploit their vulnerabilities.
That is your tagline.
Kenya has come to Cynthia's house to help her organize her closet. I guess because Kenya is the Marie Kondo of the show. I didn't think Cynthia's closet was that bad, honestly. Kenya's closet, yes, it's all perfect, but I mean, most people's closets don't look like that.
I noticed that her boyfriend's t-shirts are on hangers. I don't like that.
Are you Martha Stewart? Do you...
No, I
have
just
any
like
tips?
I just like things being done my way.
Cynthia says, maybe I'm a hoarder. I didn't think she looked like a hoarder. I thought she just has clutter. She needs to throw things out. Don't you love throwing things out?
I love throwing things out.
Kenya starts playing with her nipple cover. Cynthia's appalled at the size of her breasts. She's like...
It's a milk factory. Is that what she said?
Yeah. All about the titty, something like that. I mean, she was taken aback. She looked genuinely shocked by the size of Kenya's breasts.
For some reason, throughout my whole breast obsession, I have not looked at Kenya's.
I think that's because you really don't like Kenya.
Yeah.
I think you try not to look at her at all.
I mean, but I look at Tamra's.
Cynthia says, you know, she doesn't appreciate that Kenya didn't tell her she was going to show up to Marlo's party. She says Marlo was not happy. And then Kenya starts going in on Marlo and saying how security never came. And Kenya starts to talk like Cynthia.
Borderline Betty.
Yeah, that was very personality disorder kind of behavior. Because all of a sudden, Kenya takes on Cynthia's traits.
Yes.
And I know some people will do this. No, a lot of people do that. That happens to me when I hang out with someone all the time. Not like, oh, I just shift like a chameleon and all of a sudden I'm saying honey and all of Cynthia's catchphrases. Cynthia says that Marlo said she had dirt on Kenya, but that it didn't make sense. That she's like, she's paying child support. And Kenya's like, oh, you know, she's pulling things out of her ass again, you know, like that 80-year-old dick. You know what? Marlo likes to date older billionaires. Good for her.
That's fine, but...
What about the men Kenya dates? Kenya's not with a bunch of winners either. Cynthia's upset that she didn't get to ask Marlo about Snakegate. So now this is what we're calling the person who recorded. It's Snakegate.
It's a big to-do. I don't care.
She's like, do you know how crazy it is to have to ask someone you've known for years if they recorded you? I've recorded people. I record people who like to gaslight me. I don't like people who lie and then, you know, try to turn other people against you. So I just say, okay.
You would be good on the Housewives.
I record people, but only when I have to. Don't gaslight me. I don't do that to people. My mom throws me under the bus all the time because, like, nobody will back her up on things. So if I tell her something in confidence, she'll be like, well, she told me. And I'm like, but I'll never deny it. I'm like, yes, I did tell her that. Yes, I did say that. Then I'll tell her thanks a lot.
My dad does that to me.
But I'll cop to it. I never go like, no, I didn't say that. Not at all.
I don't cop to it.
Well, I do. And so I have no respect for people that gaslight.
Have you recorded me, Martha?
I don't have to record you. Everything I need with you is on tape. We're on tape saying so many things.
That's true. Sometimes we're not on tape.
No, I don't record those things, but I've recorded my father.
Okay. I think you told me that.
Among a few other people. I recorded my college when they were mishandling a student who was being inappropriate.
Uh-huh.
I recorded them telling me how they were going to handle it, and then when they didn't, I played the tape of the dean.
How did they respond to that?
They were really angry, but I said, New York is a one-party consent state. I was party to the conversation, and I needed to record it. I felt unsafe. The conversation turns to marriage. Cynthia is very happy with Magic Mike, and then asks Kenya how's her marriage going. And Kenya says, well, You know, it's like Michelle Obama says. I just heard her talking about this. You need a good person on your team, and you have to know how to argue and get through things. Kenya, you and Mark are nothing like Barack and Michelle. Like, I can't think of a more opposite couple. It's more of like an Ike and Tina situation. I'm just saying, like, really, I mean, I think what Michelle says is true, and marriage is difficult, but you can tell that Barack Obama adores his wife.
Yeah, exactly.
He worships her.
Exactly. And she most likely doesn't have a personality disorder.
No. Kandi's daughters, her biological and her stepdaughter, so it's Riley and Kaela, are both going to be in New York over the summer. Carmen, her friend, comes over and she says that they're not going to talk to each other in New York because they live in the same home and don't even talk then. That's sad, but I understand it.
Yeah.
She's talking about how the blended family stuff is really challenging. You know, Todd doesn't get along with Kaela, and then Riley doesn't want to hear from Todd either. So his own biological child won't speak to him right now. Riley won't hear it from him because she's like, that's not my dad. Candy's cracking up. She's like, you know those kids that are like, you're not my father?
Yeah.
I would be the same way.
I would too.
I would play that card every chance. They'd be like, I'm sorry, what? Are you my dad?
Even though Todd has been around for a long time.
Todd's a nice guy, though. I feel like there's worse people you could have for a stepdad.
I feel like we're seeing a new side of Todd now that he and Kandi both have a child together and they have another child on their way. You can see where his flaws lie.
Yes, he's not perfect, but if I had to pick a stepdad out of all the Real Housewives husbands,
Todd would most
he's not
likely.
A bad one.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Brooks would be my ideal stepdad, but Todd is a close second.
Todd bought a tractor trailer. He wants to start a bunch of businesses. He wants to have a Mexican restaurant. He wants to do OLG breakfast. And Kandi says she admires his ambition and making money is a great thing, but they have a baby on the way. And she's concerned that he doesn't get that.
Is this like a midlife crisis? Or has he always been like this, but now starting to affect his job as a father to young children?
I think he's just a guy that loves making money. He's an entrepreneur.
I think they already have space for the Mexican restaurant.
That's an addictive feeling.
I gather it is.
Another business and another business and another business.
How many of them succeed, though? Or do you start one business, starts making money, and then you get bored, so you just move on to something else?
I can't even imagine. I can barely get up and brush my teeth.
I know. Oh, please.
Managing how many...
No, it would be horrible. It wouldn't happen. It wouldn't be horrible because it wouldn't happen, so we don't even have to worry about it.
What do you think of starting our own restaurant?
Well, I mean, what would we serve? Nothing.
George and Martha's.
Yeah, George and Martha's.
No, we wouldn't cook there. We would just start a restaurant and we would write like mean things on the menus.
Yeah, it would be like, hey, barrel ass, probably shouldn't eat this one. What we would do is we would lie to people who are like vegan and...
That is no.
And then
you
give
can't
them
do that.
meat.
No, I wouldn't do that.
And be like, oh, by the way, you had pureed chicken. We do have a vegan who watches us. She's nice.
Kandi says something funny. I think that is, her friend Carmen's kind of like, what? But it's true. She goes, well, the more kids you have, the better your odds of getting it right. Yeah, just like playing lotto.
Yeah.
Gotta be in it to win it. It is true, though.
Yeah, and we were the first.
Hence
YouTube.
Marlo comes to pick up Porsha on one of those pedal tour things. It looks like hell. Can you imagine us? You have to pedal it to make it move. They're drinking. They're doing hookah. No.
So stupid. Can you imagine being stuck behind one of those things?
I would be so annoyed.
I'd drive it off the road.
They look like Fred Flintstone.
It's so stupid. Just go to a gym and then go to the bar.
Porsha and Marlo start talking about Nene, and Portia's really mad at Nene for all the mean things she said about her when she had just had her child. And Marlo's like, well, come on, what did Michelle Obama say? Marlo does have a really deep voice. And Portia's like, well, my name is Porsha fucking Williams, so, like, I don't care what Michelle Obama had to say. I completely agree. No, Nene was horrible to her. I cannot defend Nene about this one bit. You don't start insulting her weight and calling her names when she just had a baby. That's rotten. I don't know what Marlo's trying to say about how, you know, women need to be good to other women because they take so much from men. And she goes, you know, we get diseases, we do this and that. And Porsha just goes, bitch, like, what are you talking about? Even the guy driving the pedal thing was like, diseases? Yeah, and Porsha says, that's what I'm trying to get away from. What you just said, that's what I'm establishing, what I am going to tolerate and what I'm not going to tolerate. I'm glad she said that. That kind of made me think, Marlo, what is wrong with you?
Yeah, Marlo is projecting. Marlo clearly has some diseases, and she's just assuming that everybody gets them. Porsha's co-worker pulls up.
Oh, I blew past that. Her co-worker shows up, and she starts shaking her ass off the side of the thing.
Fun.
Joking around about Versace with the top down, and I don't like this whole bit with them.
No.
I really don't. Some of you are like, why does Marlo deserve a peach? I'm not talking about Marlo as a human being. I know Marlo says horrible things and has done horrible things, but she's on the show more than Nene. She's in every scene. She has been crucial to the drama.
She has.
She's a very important part.
If she's the apparent snake.
I think she serves a bigger purpose than Tanya or the other friends.
Yeah.
She's in it a lot. There's a lot of Marlo on this show.
I don't like Tanya. Kathy Lee Gifford is a woman of great integrity. She does not want to splash her face all over the TV screen, so instead she sends someone else to meet with Nene. We all know that Nene's life coach / spiritual advisor is not this Tamra woman. It is in fact Kathy Lee Gifford. I just want everybody to know that. Do not be fooled by Tamra.
No, she's a figurehead.
She is. Thank you.
Greg makes me laugh. He says something, because Nene's getting ready for this stand-in to come, and the doorbell rings, and Greg goes, every time that sound goes off, somebody's at the door. That was like something my dog would say if she could speak.
He's not bright, is he?
What was that about? Am I missing something? Did he really say that?
I think he did.
I heard it more than once, and I'm like, every time that sound goes off, someone's at the door?
Maybe he didn't say that.
That's like saying, every time that sound goes off, somebody's on the telephone.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's what he said, but...
Greg.
Well, the stand-in, checking in with Nene. Nene says that things with Greg are okay. She says that she's trying to get him to admit to some things because she finds it easier to forgive when people admit stuff. I agree with that. I can forgive a lot if you tell me what you did wrong.
Yeah.
Like, I get really mad if I'm lied to or if someone tries to cover it up. If you come to me and you're like, listen, I messed up so bad. Pretty much no matter what it is, if you tell me the truth and you're contrite, I can work to get past it. So I see where Nene's coming from with that. Nene tells the story of Kenya and the marching band, and this stand-in spiritual advisor is like, what do you mean a marching band? She's like dun 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 with like cymbals, chung. And she's like, okay. She's like, I had to go because I knew I was gonna cuss this woman out, and I'm not in that place anymore. And I know my friend, it was her event. She's probably like wondering why wasn't I supporting her, but I am trying to avoid that kind of toxicity now. And we get this flashback because Nene knows the irony that she's saying she doesn't want to throw down with these women when she has been more than willing to fight in the past. And when we get this flashback, I'm like, Nene's unrecognizable. You'd never know that was the same person.
And she was wearing a thong.
Like, how many different noses? It was like looking at early Vicki Gunvalson. It's not the same face. What?
Nene is no Vicki.
I just mean in terms of the transformation.
Oh, no. Oh, okay. Yeah. No, yeah.
I mean, like, how many different faces they've had from the beginning?
No, they have. But Nene looks normal. Compared to Vicki.
Have you seen her latest social media posts?
No.
I don't think Nene looks so normal.
Has she gotten more work done
Yes.
since this?
Yeah. I understand all the housewives, after a while, they get addicted to surgery to keep up with each other, to stop aging. The TVs are getting clearer and clearer. The cameras are higher HD. Nene says that it's very important to have people to lean on, and for that reason, she misses having her group of female friends, and she misses the sisterhood, and she needs her sisterhood back, and she's trying to work on repairing things. But then she says that she's very concerned about coming on this trip. And they show Tanya inviting her. I felt like you did. I'm like, Tanya, take it down a notch. So I thought you could join us in Canada for Carnival. Nene goes, I'm going to have to get back to you. Because she says, I wear a wig right now because I have 4 bald spots as a result of these girls' trips. She knows when you go on a trip, you're trapped with this group of people, and she's scared. I can't fault her for anything she's saying right now. Nene, if you really want to be a better person, you got to leave the show. You can't be a good person and be on reality TV. You cannot have both. You have to be a monster on some level. Some monsters are worse than others, but you are selling your soul. So if you're on a spiritual journey and you want to pursue that life, you want to like change as a human being, leave the show.
And you know what? Talk to Kathy Lee about it because she just left the Today Show.
And she says she's happier than ever. I'm
sure Kathy Lee would have some good advice on that.
Now Marlo's pissing me off. We're back to the pedal thing. They go by Hot Dog Factory, and Marlo is like, hi, Dennis. And Porsha's like, oh, Marlo is a stan for Dennis.
What's a stan?
That comes from remember the Eminem song, Stan? A super fan? Yeah, Marlo's a stan for Dennis.
Clearly.
Great. Well, that's what Porsha says. Yeah, they show him last season when she was like, you like Dennis? And she's like, I love Dennis.
It's kind of weird.
It is weird. I don't know why she loves Dennis. Dennis has no redeeming qualities.
We're going to get to that.
We are going to get to that egghead asshole. But anyway, they go to the hot dog factory. I can't even believe Porsha agreed to this, but I'm sure Porsha knew ahead of time because this is a show. They go in. People are like, where's Dennis? She's like, I don't know. She goes outside to FaceTime him with Marlo. Marlo's like, hi, Dennis. Hi, see you soon. Yeah. This is my first time at Hot Dog Factory. And Portia's like, hi. Yeah, we're here. Marlo goes, we love you. Say I love you. Come on, Porsha. You can say I love you. Say I love you.
I love you.
She doesn't say it.
I wouldn't. Especially if I'm being like bullied into it. On top of that.
She has no reason to say it. And I don't understand Marlo. I really don't.
It's bizarre.
She's like, you can still tell him you love him.
It's her.
You could still say you love him.
It's her just weird. I don't know.
Doesn't mean you're with him. You could just still say you love him. And then Porsha says the only thing that's been bad about being broken up with Dennis is not having the hot dogs.
They looked good. So
Kaela's leaving for New York. She looks really depressed. Todd is not there to take her to the airport. This is why she doesn't like you, Todd. I get that they have problems. I get that she's an adult. He's not seeing, like, show up. Like, I think that would have really meant a lot to her. If he said, like, I can't make it, and then he showed up, and he's like, of course I'm going to take you. Kandi's the one to see her off. I love the hat she's wearing, Living La Vida Broca.
Yeah.
I feel that. That's me right now. Big time. I am big time living La Vida Broca. It's really not a good feeling.
Yeah, it's sad.
Isn't it?
It is, isn't it?
It's tragic.
It is.
I'm okay. It's just like I'm always borrowing from Peter to pay Paul. I'm like in a bad spot. You know, I'm always like, oh, should I pay the car insurance on time or should I pay this on time? Or should I hold off on this and pay this a little late?
Or should I go to Sephora?
Okay, I've gotten strict with myself about Sephora.
Really?
No. When I'm broke, I don't go to Sephora. I'm not one of those people who cries poverty and then spends all my money in Sephora. I cry poverty and then I beg people to buy me things from Sephora. And it works.
That's probably what I would do.
They show Ace saying grace.
Oh.
You had a lot to say about that.
You know, Ace, I'm sure he's decent. Everything that comes out of his mouth, almost everything that comes out of his mouth is scripted. And then, the car's here. But I did notice when Kaela and Ace and Kandi and everybody got into the car, Kaela said to Ace, "Are you gonna miss me, Ace?" No. It was the one moment that wasn't scripted, and it was a funny moment.
Okay, well, I find him adorable, and I don't think it's his fault that they put words in his mouth.
No, it isn't his fault, but it's still annoying.
I hear you.
Why is he on? You know why it annoys me? Because it says something about Kandi.
I know. That's what bothers me, too. I feel like...
And I like Kandi.
Honestly, I feel like Bravo is responsible for this ultimately. Bravo should be the ones to have a policy where they will not show minors on the show.
Not show minors.
I feel like what Teresa's doing to her daughters on New Jersey is tantamount to child abuse.
I agree, yeah.
I can't believe Bravo permits that. They should not be allowing those kids to be on television.
No, it's disgusting.
I don't care for that one bit. But even, there's other franchises where they show the kids and it's just not appropriate. I think it's a good thing that Bethany's not allowed to show her daughter.
I know.
She probably would have.
And she would probably regret it at some point.
It's probably the best thing that could have happened to her that her husband said absolutely not to putting Bryn on TV.
I would have if I were her husband.
Yeah. I think he's a scumbag, but on that issue... He was right. Kandi says that she wishes she could give more to Kaela. She really wants to help her. This girl does look really miserable.
I don't understand. I understand, but it's very miserable.
Like really, really, really unhappy. Well, it doesn't come from nowhere.
No.
I don't think she's a brat.
No.
I think her parents are just absent. She looks really sad.
She did say her mom is in New York, so maybe she's closer to her mom.
Yeah, but she didn't seem so happy about going to be with her.
She's very nervous.
I feel bad for her. I really felt like I wanted to...
How old? She's 23. She was acting like a 15-year-old.
I wanted to stop the TV and talk to her and be like, what's wrong?
She would have said, "Oh, get away from me." Right?
I don't know about that. I think she wants somebody to say what's wrong. It's all over her face. And Kandi knows it, and Kandi says, it's very hard because she's not her biological parent. And you can't come into a girl's life when she's 16, 17 and be like, oh, I'm your mama now. That's not how it works. So she doesn't have much of a say. She says she wishes they could be closer. I do think she likes Kandi, though. I think she knows Kandi tries. I think Kandi wants to spoil her and give her money and try to help, and Todd puts a stop to it. I think Todd just doesn't want to be undermined by Kandi. Todd thinks he's parenting this girl the right way, and...
it's not working out well.
Eva and Cynthia go on a double date with the Mikes. I was bored. They're playing some kind of bowling thing where you throw a football at bowling pins. I do like Mike Hill. I like Cynthia's guy. I think he's a nice guy.
Even though he called her his queen.
Well, she said my king.
I know. Awful.
They started talking about the whole snake thing, who recorded Cynthia, and Mike's really defensive of her, and he's like, I don't mind saying whoever did that is a piece of shit. And so they ask Eva's husband, who is a prosecutor, I believe, or a defense lawyer. He's a lawyer. About whether it's legal for someone to have recorded Cynthia. And he explains, what I was telling you. I guess in that state, it's okay if someone was part of the conversation that they're allowed to do that. Cynthia says it's got to be Giovanna or Marlo. That's it. It has to be. She's like, unless the Russians have invaded Lake Peoly.
That was my favorite
That was
line
funny.
of the episode.
Definitely. Yes, me too. But she seems to think, she said it's got to be either Giovanna's ass or Marlo. Eva says it's definitely Marlo. She's like, that is Nene's lapdog. And she thinks Nene's a narc. She says Nene's got a thing with recording people left and right. That she thinks Nene works for the federal government and that she needs a pat down. I guess she has a point. Nene does like recording people. I think Nene got fed up with Cynthia being a little bit two-faced, so I wouldn't surprise me if she put up this person to doing it. I don't really care. And then they say they're taking a bet, whoever wins this has to move to the other person's state. I think Cynthia, if she loses, is going to move to LA. She loses, rah rah, they walk out, la la la. Then we cut to Kenya Moore visiting an estate lawyer.
This is bizarre. I don't understand this.
She walks in, the first thing she goes is, I just have to say, I love this space.
I would be scared if I were the lawyer.
There's something unsettling about Kenya.
Just the look in her eye.
You can't put your finger on it. You just know there's something off.
Stay away.
She wants to know what she can do to protect her assets so that they go to Brooklyn. And the estate lawyer is just calmly explaining everything, asked if she has a prenup. No, I don't have a prenup. And she's worried that she could never trust Mark to be her power of attorney because she doesn't trust what to do with the money. And she just starts crying. She starts, she gets hysterical in his office.
The lawyer handled it well.
And she's like, well, this is okay.
I wonder if she's just so lonely that she'll just go to anybody for attention.
Yeah, this was really... She said it's like, yeah, who does she have to put in that position? I don't think she has anyone that close to her.
It's sad, but I mean...
It's a red flag when people don't have any long-term relationships. It's never a good sign.
Yeah.
I have 5 people I could pick right now that I know beyond a shadow of a doubt I could trust with millions of dollars, and they would do what I asked them to do. You could, I'm sure you know people too. You have long-term friendships.
Yeah.
You have me. You know, if you told me...
I would trust you.
I would never touch it. I could be the most broke person in the world, and I would not touch it.
I know.
But that's because you've cultivated that with people. You surround yourself with healthier people. Kenya doesn't have anyone. I feel bad for her on some level.
I do too, but then they think back about what she did to Marlo. It's just crazy.
And she's very proud of what she did.
I know.
She's just jealous. Everyone came to talk to me. I'm so angry over this scene of Dennis and Porsha in therapy. I wanted to break the TV. This ugly, fat, egg-headed motherfucker.
He's horrible.
Comes waddling down the hall, makes Porsha move over, doesn't just go take the seat next to her,
No.
Waits for her to move, which she does. Sits there, smirking, playing with his clothes. He's got his eyes half open. He's such a dumbass, arrogant. This guy's a piece of shit, and I don't care. There is not one good quality.
No.
He's not cute. He's not smart. He's not charming. Nothing. He's a scumbag and sneaky and I can't. And then, what he says. You look at Porsha. Porsha is this spectacularly beautiful woman who is very funny and has a lot to offer. He has nothing to offer her. Nothing.
Where did he come from?
I don't know. Stupid fucking hot dog factory. I can't.
He would choke on a hot dog.
I can't. I cannot with this guy. I cannot. To say the reason he cheated is because sex during pregnancy wasn't the same. And she says they had sex throughout the pregnancy. Oh, but he says, well, it wasn't what a
man wants.
He can't even say it like this.
He's a piece of shit.
He sits there, his eyes are half open.
And if his eyes are open, they're looking Porsha up and down.
Yeah. Fucking, why don't you go fuck another dog or something, asshole?
He's horrible.
He's looking her up and down all the time. He just wants to get back in her pants.
That's all it is. That's all it is. And the therapist doesn't call him out.
No, she doesn't. She's harder on Porsha. Talk to Dennis. Tell Dennis why it hurt. How do you hear this guy say blame her postpartum depression and pregnancy for why he did this? How do you allow that? I'm sorry, but I feel like Dr. Sherry's a little bit old school in her mentality.
And the fact that he made her move. That was bizarre.
I don't like this lady's mentality, the Dr. Sherry. I feel like Dr. Sherry's like a more old school traditionalist. She encouraged Porsha to stay for the family. She's letting this guy say what he wants. Stupid.
Comes in late. What is he wearing? He's hideous. He's hideous. He's
And Porsha's like, I don't like the word mistake. I don't like the word mistake either. You're right. It's not a mistake. I completely agree with you. It's not, oh shit, 2 + 2 is not 5. Whoops. I must have not gotten enough sleep before the test. I'm sorry, teacher. No, you are a calculated motherfucker. And you chose to do this. To say, well, technically, we're still engaged. These nosy dude.
He's so gross.
A lot of that.
And
Dr. Sherry goes, well, technically, she doesn't have a ring on her finger. That's the least of it. He goes, can I have my hug now? And Porsha hugs him. And then they get in the car together.
First of all, how did he get there? I found that weird.
Maybe he Ubered. And then he wanted Porsha. He wanted to take the car with her.
Yeah, he wanted to be in the car with her because that's when he...
Make him over. No. Porsha.
I would have pushed him out of the car and run him over. Some people are just a waste.
I could see if he was like truly sorry, if he sat there.
Truly sorry? If he had one redeeming quality.
If he was like, he seemed incredibly sorry for what he did. If he actually did some soul searching on why he's a pussy hound. Something.
Why he fucks animals.
Yeah. Like, you know, honey, I looked into myself. I did some deep work with my therapist. And I remembered that I was, you know, exposed to someone doing sex acts with a donkey when I was little. I don't know. But no, he just sits there and is just waiting for Porsha to get over it. That's what it looks like to me. Biding his time.
And she does.
And she did, yeah.
And I think that's what's most upsetting about all this.
And I don't believe her that it's all about PJ. I really don't.
No.
I really don't. She's like, asking him, she's like, do you want to just live your lifestyle and co-parent, or you want to be with me? I want to be with you. Well, I don't know about that. Something's off with this whole picture. I don't know if it's a money thing for her.
I think it is. Maybe not. I mean, her last marriage
She seems to really love him, and that was the other thing. Why does it hurt so much, Porsha? Because you love him? She's like, well, I don't want to say that.
Yeah.
And she's the one really trying. She's like, I have to get over that if I tell him I love him, he won't be hurting anymore. If I tell him I forgive him, he won't be sorry anymore. She wants him to be punished. And she says, I'm willing to let that crap go. Wow. What a caring, measured, reasonable adult thing to say. While Mr. Potato Head sits there looking at you, getting hard, I can't.
I feel like some people are just a waste of space.
He's a parasite.
He looks like one.
He's like, there's like nothing in his head. He reminds me of like a chocolate Easter bunny. Like if you knocked on him, it would be like...
And what was he wearing? Those glasses. Please, grow up.
I cannot believe he had the audacity to say it was because of Porsha's postpartum.
And that therapist said nothing.
That's not the reason. He goes, it's not a good enough why, but it's a why. No, that's not a good enough why. The why is, no, let's ask, why are you not capable of waiting until she's in a better place to have intimacy?
You're lucky you got anything at all.
I know.
You don't.
That's the better question. Why did you do that?
Having sex while pregnant. I don't see you having sex while
I
pregnant.
think I will.
Really?
Yeah.
But you get ill, don't you?
I never feel well. I still have sex.
That's true. That's true.
Not late in the pregnancy, though. You know, when you're out to here, it's hard.
Yeah.
I guess you just gotta flip over. It all looks the same from the back.
I know.
That's it. It's unfortunate to watch this and know that Porsha is still with her rotund Casanova, but what are you gonna do? Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. Leave us comments. We read all the comments and we enjoy them very much. We love you and we'll be back next time. I don't know what's going on with this coming attraction. I was like, what?
Very sudden.
In a world with so much drama,
I know.
Dreams do come true.
Was that? I think that was actually Mike, right?
Yeah.
Stupid.
Oh my god, this is a bad season.
It's just done. I'm already done.
You can find us on Instagram and Twitter at UnKind TV. We've been posting some interesting stuff on Instagram, so if you miss us in between recaps and you want to see what our weirdo selves are up to, check it out. Thanks. Bye.